Today we're tackling Pega's PSA25V1, the Certified Pega System Architect. 25 exam, 60 questions, 90 minutes, 65% to pass. If you're gearing up for this certification, we know how tricky the wording can get, you know?
Oh, yeah. They really like to test your practical knowledge, not just textbook definitions.
Exactly. So let's jump right into the architecture. Question 1, what actually defines the core structure of a case lifecycle?
Right. The absolute foundation of the whole thing.
Yeah, and looking at the options, we've got work queues, SLAs, data pages, or stages and steps. My immediate instinct goes straight to work queues and routing. I mean, in the real world, that's how we actually move work around a team. So that must be the core structure, right?
Well, that is the classic trap, and it's exactly what the exam writers want you to think. Work queues and service level agreements, they feel like the structure because they dictate our daily grind.
Right, they're what you interact with the most on a Tuesday afternoon.
Exactly, but the true foundation is your stages, processes, and steps.
Oh, I see. Because if you think about building a house, those stages and processes are your foundation and walls.
Yeah, that's a perfect analogy.
And the work queues and SLAs.
Yeah.
That's just the plumbing you install later to make things flow.
Yep, and those data pages everyone talks about, they just hold the blueprints. You simply can't route work to a queue if the fundamental stage hasn't been mapped out first.
Okay, that makes total sense. So moving to question 2, once the house is built, how do we track progress? Like, as a case transitions across those different stages, what tool establishes and updates its status?
This one has some tricky distractors. What are the options?
We're looking at flow actions, case type designer, data transforms, or declare expressions. I've seen people argue for flow actions here since, well, users interact with them to move things along.
It's really tempting, because they do involve user progress, but flow actions are really just the user inputs.
Wait, really? So they don't actually control the overarching status?
No, they don't. To do that, you use the case type designer.
Ah, because it's a visual tool. You're literally looking at the life cycle and explicitly mapping out what the status should be at each specific stage.
Yes, exactly. And that mechanism is key. It means we can completely eliminate back-end tools like data transforms or declare expressions.
Right, the exam loves to throw those at you as distractors.
Yeah, but remember, those are for complex math and heavy data manipulation. Updating a simple status like pending doesn't require complex calculations. It just needs that visual map in the case type designer.
Got it. Now that the structure and statuses are set, question 3 gets into the actual humans interacting with the system. Why would you append an instruction to a specific assignment step?
Another really common pitfall here.
I bet. The options are enforcing business rules, overriding SLA urgency, controlling routing, or guiding users. My brain immediately screams to enforce a business rule or control routing because, well, it's fair, everything is a rule, right?
That's our cognitive bias kicking in.
Yeah?
We get so used to complex logic that we overcomplicate the simple things. Step instructions exist strictly to guide users.
Just to guide them.
Yeah, think of it as leaving a sticky note on a colleague's desk, not installing an automated lock on a door.
Okay, wow. So it has absolutely zero executable logic. It won't alter your routing, and it certainly won't override your SLA urgency values.
None at all. It's just plain user-facing text. It's there to help you, the user, not the system.
Right, so if step instructions guide the humans, what keeps those humans on schedule? That brings us to question 4. Let's look at how service level agreements actually impact case processing.
SLAs are a huge part of the exam.
Yeah, and the options are all over the place. Do they define user access levels, auto-create cases, determine roles, or track time limits? It's so easy to assume they automatically spin up new cases if something is running late.
I see that assumption a lot, but they don't do that. SLAs never handle security roles, and they definitely don't create new cases automatically.
So what's their actual job?
Their sole purpose is to track and enforce time limits.
Like a ticking timer on a pizza delivery. It tracks exactly how long it's been since the order was placed.
Right, but it doesn't automatically bake a new pizza if the driver gets stuck in traffic.
Exactly right. So for question 5, within that timer, which SLA parameter actually dictates the priority of a case relative to other work?
The options for this one are always confusing.
Yeah, we have goal, deadline, past deadline, and urgency. I'm putting my money on deadline. The closer the deadline, the higher the priority.
I completely see why you'd go there, but a deadline is just a fixed timestamp on a calendar. It doesn't actively sort your work.
Oh, so it's static.
Right. The parameter that actively dictates priority is urgency. It's a dynamic numeric value that increases as time passes.
Oh, I love that distinction. The deadline is 5:00 p.m., but urgency is how fast your heart beats at 4:59 p.m.
That perfectly captures the mechanism, yeah.
Let's take that one step further for our final question. What happens when that clock hits 5:01 p.m.? What operational function does the past deadline configuration serve?
Let me guess the trap here.
You probably know it. Options are auto-closing the case, resetting timers, removing it from a queue, or assigning additional urgency. A lot of test takers assume past deadline means game over, so it must auto-close the case.
Right, the cognitive bias of assuming a missed deadline is a fatal error. But in reality, the past deadline configuration just assigns additional agency points on a repeating cycle.
So it's just like an alarm clock. It doesn't ring once and unplug itself. It hits snooze and gets progressively louder, adding another level of urgency every few minutes.
That's the exact logic. It keeps escalating until a human actually wakes up and intervenes.
Okay, we made it through the questions. Now let's connect the dots.
If you're heading into this exam, make sure you fundamentally understand the 6 core concepts we unpacked today. We looked at case lifecycle design, case status configuration, step instructions, service level agreements, SLA urgency, and past deadline outcomes.
So true. And leaving you with this. If urgency keeps ticking up infinitely after a past deadline, what breaks first in a real-world scenario? Your Pega work queue or your team's sanity?